What's up, everybody? We are back at it again, and this time we're talking about stalling. Now, something cool happened where someone on the committee at the NCAA saw my page and reached out and said, how would you define stalling? Because this is a year where they're all going to get together and decide how they're going to change the rules for the 2028 season. So not this coming year, but the year after is when the rule change would apply. Now, they asked me to define stalling because there's refs and people all around the country, and everyone has their own perception and own understanding of words and how they perceive things. So let's dive into the current wording. The current wording says this, which I'm going to post here on the page, which you can see right now. Attempting to avoid wrestling action is speculative because then the referee has to judge what your intent is. For example, the referee has to decide, is the wrestler tired? Are they purposely avoiding the action by backing up? Are they setting something up? Or are they strategically slowing the pace down? So you can look at the exact same situation, and ref 1 might call, he's avoiding action, stalling. Ref 2 might say, oh, he's creating space, he's setting up a shot, that's good wrestling. Or a couple people in my comments would say that's good defense. So based on maybe their wrestling background or their history with the sport, whether they wrestled or not, they might have a totally different interpretation of what's going on in that exact same setting. And this creates hesitation in high-level matches. So, we're in the NCAAs. We're in the NCAA tournament. This is the Super Bowl for wrestling, besides, international stuff. But when it comes to domestic USA, it does not get bigger than the NCAAs. So, I don't know, you just wouldn't see a football game or a baseball game or some of these other games that are, at the professional level, would you have so much speculation on a certain call, like a takedown or stalling, when essentially that is the biggest fundamental of the sport is, are you pressing action forward or not? Another important point is you can measure shot attempts. You can measure mat returns. You can measure how long someone's been riding someone out. What you cannot measure is attempting to avoid action. That's not measurable. The fact that it's not measurable means there's a problem with the wording. And I just want to reiterate what I've said in another post is we're not calling referees bad for their perspective of what's going on in the match. We're calling the rules inconsistent. We're saying that the rules don't set up the refs to succeed. And at the end of the day, we want everyone to succeed. We want the refs, the coaches, and the wrestlers all to do their best and everything to be fair. So NCAA, if you are seeing this, other than the person that reached out to me to get my perspective, here's your chance to get it from a ref's point of view. Change the wording. Here is a proposed definition for wording. I'm going to read this right off a piece of paper that I wrote. Stalling is defined as a wrestler failing to demonstrate continuous, observable, offensive, or positional progress appropriate to the position they are in, whether that's neutral, top, or bottom. So if you're not showing progress to either get up, get a takedown, or ride them out, you are stalling. Now you might say, well, showing progress, is that speculative? Maybe, but also not really, because there's only, it's linear. You progress linearly in wrestling. You either A, get up and score a point, B, get ridden out and give up a riding point or whatever, or C, from the neutral position, you take the other person down. Very linear in definition. I hope that helps. I hope that's useful for the NCAA. I hope it gets adopted. And NCAA, if you're looking for someone to throw on your board or someone to bounce more ideas off, I would love to be involved. Shout out to your boy.